Welcome back to Fantasy Sports Ballers. We have changed our name, but I'm still going to name my teams Random City Sports Ballers in a lot of cases. But welcome back to Fantasy Sports Ballers. I hope you don't mind the brand change. It's just some people weren't sure what our channel was. And if we put it in as Fantasy Sports, then people understand what we are. Okay, so we're underway tomorrow, fellas. Games begin. And that means we have got to get the busy work of every day done. And you're going to be busy a couple of times a day. You're going to need to spend several minutes on each of your leagues minimum. If you don't spend the time on your teams, you're going to find yourself having players that get left on the bench or missing out on someone that was cut. So the first thing that I do every day, I go to my league page. I scroll on, I'm looking at what the rankings are, blah, blah, blah. But I look down here, okay, at the transactions. This one right here was made yesterday. These two right here both were made yesterday. I'm looking at who was cut and who was picked up. I'm looking at who was cut, who was picked up. And here's something that I'm going to tell you. On a lot of these early moves, you don't need to spend a single dollar of your waiver money. We'll talk about that in a minute. Because you can see here, this person here has already spent $14 of their waiver money, and we have not even begun the season. Pro League 100, $70 left. They've already spent $30 of their waiver money. Okay? Look, I try to keep as much waiver money as possible for the playoffs because that's where your waiver money is going to matter most. You're going to need to pick up players. You're going to need to grab some streaming pitchers. You will, no matter what you've done through the season, you will have to pick up players during the playoffs. I won a championship one year because the guy I played against spent all of his waiver money. He didn't have any waiver money left during championship week. So I was able to grab any players I wanted to. That is a big difference maker. Okay, so what we're doing, we're coming down here, we're checking the transactions, okay? We're checking transactions. Then we come on down here, we can check for some news. Hey, everybody's checking for news in different ways. You know, you might watch some of the stuff on MLB Network or maybe just some of the daily fantasy shows on ESPN or ESPN Plus. You know, whatever your source for your news for daily fantasy moves is, take a look at it. So you check out your league, check out moves that have been made, and check out the news. Then you need to go to your team, and you're going to need to do this a couple of times a day, okay? In the morning, I go through and I check that everybody is in for the lineup. At night, I go through, I change to the next day, okay? I'm looking here. Look, we've already got postponed games. Postponed games. Brent Rooker is not postponed, so we're just going to take him. We're going to throw him right in there for Marcelo Zuna. Weird that that game's postponed already, but it is what it is. I'll check again in the morning and make sure that that game is, in fact, postponed. Let me see. We're going to look at our pitchers. Who's got pitching starts? Okay. A lot of folks that do not have a pitching start. So let's get this reliever in here. See, if Gausman is not going to be pitching, or any of these three starting pitchers, let's have the maximum number of relief pitchers in there. Even with Freddie Peralta on that postponed, you know, it doesn't change anything because these guys aren't starting tomorrow. And what's the news on Gausman? Gausman will make his season debut Sunday in Tampa or Monday in Houston. So all the worries about him being injured and not being able to play this. Look, I knew it was only going to be a few days. Most of us knew that. So, I'm sorry, double clicked. So what you're going to be doing every day, do this in the morning, do this in the evening. Make sure you're seeing what moves have been made. You can even go through and check out players. Check out your players list. All the batters, who's available, who is currently rostered the most that is not rostered on any of my leagues. Look, you got Moreno, you got Correa, Mountcastle, Drury is not rostered here, what's the news on Drury? 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs, because guess what? Drury is pretty good. Drury is Back-to-back seasons of 80 plus RBIs and 25 plus homers. Come on, fellas. That's 2 consecutive seasons. He's going to make it 3. This is going to be good numbers out of him. Thankfully, I don't need him on this team because I don't have any injuries yet. But if the time comes that I have an injury, I will put Brandon Drury on this team. So let's take a look at pitchers. And look at this. All the pitchers that are available, look at the rostered percentage. You see how the most rostered player available is Kenta Maeda, Yuki Matsui. These players are, I don't know. I'm not exactly rushing to get Kenta Maeda on my team. It's just, I'm not that interested. But that's going to be the case in most of your leagues. Here we've got a guy that a lot of people have on their team, 20%, because he will be getting a start tomorrow. Garrett Crotchets, Chicago White Sox relief pitcher. He's going to be a starting pitcher eligible soon. For now, you just have to put him in reliever or in regular pitcher. Let's check the news on Griffin Canning just for fun. Started 5 games this spring. What's the news? Here we go. Mixed results on Sunday. 4 runs, 3 hits, 4 2/3 inning. Not great. So, anyhow, go through these things every day. I'm going to go over here. We're going to grab one of my other teams just for the sake of having a look. Let's look at, I'm going to randomly pick C2. Random City Sports Ballers C2. Another $100 league. We're underway tomorrow. Let's look at how much money people have spent. Here's one who's already spent $25. Here's one that's out of money. How are you out of money before the season? That's insane. So we take a look here. Let's see. Today, Will Benson was cut. John Means was cut by me, but I picked up Jared Jones. Okay, Jared Jones. Look, John Means is going to start out on the injured list. I could have waited and put him on the IL. But I wanted to get Jared Jones on my team, so I don't want to wait too awful long to do that. Excuse me. What's the news on Sal Frelick? The game Milwaukee, that Frelick will start in center field. Okay. Well, he's going to get some playing time, so somebody decided to take a chance on him. I don't know. It's not really for me to go after this guy, but some people want to. Anyhow, so let's take a look. I want to see, I can look on FAB offers, and I can see what did this guy spend. Okay. I'm going to look here. Wow. He spent $99 to get C.J. Abrams. There were people offering $81, $48. See this guy here down in a hole? I like that one. $5. If you don't get him, so what? Guys, it's C.J. Abrams. He's a stolen base guy. What do you think he's going to get you? So, make sure you look through these things. Keep an eye on the news for each of these players. Looks like you're going to get stolen bases like you would have last year, fellas. So that's a terrible way to spend all of your FAB money. But anyhow, look through these things. Do them every morning, every night, and have an idea what's going on with your team and your league so you can make the player moves that you need to make for your team. All right, have fun with it. Season begins tomorrow. Good luck.